folding yesterday. Alright, so when we multiply like bases, we add the exponents, correct? So we're going to write that right here. We're going to write add the exponents. And after we fill in this, we're going to write down all of our learning targets for today and our learning target for the unit. So if I give you an example and I say x to the 4th power y squared z times x to the 5th y cubed z to the 4th. And you're writing this in this guy right here, inside. So when we multiply like bases, what do we do to the exponents? We add them. Can we combine the x and the y? Can we combine the x and the z? What about this x and this x? So what would our answer become? It's not x9. To the 9th power. What would y become? 5th power. And what would z become? What is this guy? 5 to the 5th power. And that's got a 1. So 1 plus 4 is 5, so it would be z to the 5th power. And remember, you can go over on your points today. Do we need to do one more? Are we sure? Okay. Are we ready to write down our learning targets? Almost. Okay, our learning target for this section, our whole little unit. Got glue on my paper. Alright, so our main learning target is I can identify and execute the properties of exponents. And we started this on 2/2/17. Okay, so now today we're going to have we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 other learning targets for today that we should be able to accomplish by the end of the period. So this is for our whole unit. Does everybody understand? And then we're going to have little learning targets under it. So our first learning target that we should have accomplished today says I can multiply like bases. Can we do that? One person can? Look at us go. Take a point for being able to do that. I know, life is tough. It's hard out there for quiet people. And you are not quiet. Almost said something else. I'm glad I stopped. I just need to go home. Alright. Are we ready? Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just living the dream over here. Waiting on slow riders. Alright, next one. Leave some space in between them, just like I am. Remember how I write, you write. So see how I skip some lines? Do the same thing, tater tots. Alright, so our next learning target that we're going to be able to do is I can divide like bases. Are we ready for our next one? Oh my sweet heavens. I understand, but I'm saying what we write. Alright, our next one. I can correct negative exponents.
Now, when we have like the notebook check, will we have to write all three of these?
If I ask you to, yep.
So we need to know, so we know which one to list.
Sure, if you want to. Alright, and the last one for today says I can raise a power, blessings, to a power. Are we ready?
But you can raise it what?
Power to a power.
Oh.
I love you guys. I know. I feel like that's the only way we'd be able to put up with each other. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, so it says I can identify and execute the properties of exponents. So what do you think that means you should be able to do by the end of the unit? Kind of. It says I can identify the properties of exponents. So what would that mean? Yeah. So if I gave you a problem that looked like this, would you divide those?
No.
If I gave you a problem that had a fraction, would you multiply those?
No.
So you have to be able to figure out what to do when. Execute means you would actually simplify, correct? So you have first we're going to be able to figure out what to do when, and then we're going to be able to actually do it. Now this, I can multiply like bases. When do we multiply like bases? When they have the same base, they have the multiplication sign. And how many of them do we see right here? We see 2 x's, correct? So that's when we multiply them together. So we're going to be able to figure out what to do when. Now, what do we do when we multiply like bases? Look at you go. Take a point if you said add the exponents. So we left space so that we can rewrite our rules out to the side so that we make sure we know exactly what we're doing every single time. Now, we've multiplied like bases. What are we going to do next? Divide. And what do you think we're going to do to the exponents when we divide like bases? Look at us go. Take a point. Alright, so I closed my foldable. I just closed it like that so that I'm not worried about anything else except for my next learning target, which is dividing like bases. And tell me one more time what it means for them to be like bases. Same base, which means they have to be the same what? Number or variable. Awesome. Is this anybody's lunchbox? Polka dot box? Alright.
See. I don't know, man.
And now I'm angry. So. Alright, so if I give you, if I said, what letter do I want to use?
M.
Okay. M to the 10th power divided by M to the 4th power. Are those like bases?
Yes.
Alright. Are they being divided? Okay, so what would we do with those exponents? Subtract them. So what would it become?
Oh.
M to the 6th power. That's it. That's all you do. Magic. Thank you so much, Cameron. Because I subtracted. Take a point for your team. Cameron. Alright, are we ready? So what did we do right here to get this? We subtracted them. Imagine that this is a big subtraction sign. So you subtract those. Does anybody know what this line is called? Other than division bar. It starts with a V.
Variable.
Variable's a letter. But I like that you're using V math words. Just not. It's called a vinculum. Oh, now you have. Alright, so when you divide like bases, what did we do to the exponents? Alright, so let's write that. Subtract the exponents. Yay. I'm sorry? Yes, we can go over 5 today. Alright, so my first example is going to say x to the 41st times y to the 6th divided by y cubed. Now, we can only combine like bases, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so can we combine this x with anything?
No.
No, because there's nothing under here. Can we combine the y with anything?
Yeah.
All right, so what would my answer start with? Okay, and then what would we do with that 6 and 3? And it would become y. Look at us go. Y cubed. That's it. That's all you do. Yay. Go team. Can anybody think of a problem we could run into when we do this?
That's a negative answer?
Yes, if it's a negative answer, take a point.
Yay.
So and that's our next learning target, correct? Is I can correct a negative exponent. So you are allowed to get negatives, but we're going to have a special rule that you do when you get them. But before we do that, please work out this problem, our next one. Let's say, what have I not used lately? I'm going to use k. K to the 9th, m to the 7th, n cubed, divided by k squared n. All right, now what are we going to do with the k's?
Subtract that.
So it's 9 minus 2. All right, what are we going to do with that m? Why do we leave it?
Because we don't like it.
All right, so m to the 7th. And what are we going to do with the n's?
Subtract.
So what would it be?
2.
N squared. Awesome. Yay, that's it. That's all you do. It's magic. Easy peasy. So when we divide like bases, what do? Can you guys divide like bases? One person can. Awesome. I teach 23 of you. Is anybody else alive? One other person. So the rest of you are zombies. Wait a minute. can divide like bases. It's the second one of the day.
Okay, cool.
What is happening? A memoir? You guys need to read a dictionary or any kind of book with words that are more than 2 syllables. Oh my God.
They are.
You are the future.
They are.
No, stop it.
This generation.
I know. Yes, comic books are
I
awesome.
thought you said coloring.
Coloring books are also awesome. We could have a. Never mind. Alright. Really?
Yes.
Like your math work?
I do my math work.
Alright, so what is our next learning target? Alright, so when you divide like bases, you can also get negative exponents. And we're going to talk about what to do when you get negative exponents. And I got to remember how I wrote this. Okay. Okay, so we're closing this guy again. We're just going to come out here. I know, folding is tedious. It's confusing.
I mean,
You like to go around a little bit?
Yeah,
It's just dividing like bases. It's right underneath it. We're just going to the next one. What is happening? Oh. Negative exponents. What letter do I want to use? H.
You.
it's,
H.
it's,
Your face is a boring letter. I know. Okay. So we have division, right? So when we divide those, what would we do to the exponents? We'd subtract them. So what's 3 minus 11? Now, you cannot have negative exponents. You cannot. And when you get a negative exponent, you do this. Who thinks they might know? Oh, potatoes. Who thinks they might know what we're going to do?
multiply.
Huh?
Look at little things.
What little things?
Those little lines that we had in that building.
No.
Oh. I thought it was positive.
We don't add it. We can't add anything to it.
Subtract.
Nope. So this is our answer. Okay? We can't change it to a normal 8. But we also can't touch the exponent. Well, you can't add anything to it because this is our answer. This is what we got as the answer. So what do you think we could do with it? Nope.
Get rid of it. Dividing. Hey.
Nope. You can't add anything to it. You can't multiply anything to it.
Subtract.
You can't subtract anything to it. Nope.
Eliminate it. Just leave it.
Nope.
Simplify it.
out.
You can't take it out.
Add something else.
You can't change it. Well, you have to do something to be able to change it to a positive. Who said something? Who said? Somebody just said it.
Flip it.
Flip it. Take a point. All right. So I'm going to show you. It's crazy that every day I show you how to do what we're doing. It's February and you're still confused on how class runs.
I thought you were saying just flip the 8. So.
Alright, so you flip this whole thing. Now, what invisible number is H hanging out over? A 1. Awesome. So if you flip it, it would become 1 divided by H to the 8th. That's it. Because that's what happens when you put the negative. You flip it. So if you get a negative answer, like when you're dividing, okay,
I understand.
then you just flip it.
Why would you just write H to the 8th power?
Because it's not H to the 8th. What's 3 minus 11? Yep, so you would flip it. You can't change, nope,
In a fight.
nope, maybe. Alright, so what did we do? We flip it. So, let's open. And we're going to write flip to make positive. Are we ready? Alright, so what if there was a 2 in front of this H? It would be 2 divided by h to the 8th. Now, why would it be 2 divided by h to the 8th? Is this negative exponent on the h, or would it be on the 2?
It will be on the H.
It would be on the h. It's only on the h. So if I said, for example, everybody, just watch. If I said 3x cubed divided by x to the 12th, okay? Oh, potatoes. What's 3 divided by 1? Okay, we should be a little faster on that. Let's try it again. What's 3 divided by 1? There we go. All right, we would subtract those. So what's 3 minus 12? Negative 9. Now, is this negative exponent right here on the x, or is it on the 3? It's only on the x. So you only flip the x, and you would move it to the bottom. That's it.
And you leave it like that.
Yep, that's your answer. And boom, you're done. So what if I said, here's our first example. A to the 5th, B to the 7th, divided by A to the 9th, B squared. And that's a 9 down there, not a 4, because I said 9th. Alright, so we would subtract these guys, right? What's 5 minus 9? Negative 4. Okay? What's 7 minus 2? Is it a positive 5 or negative 5? Alright, are we going to flip our B? No. He stays on top because he's positive. What are we going to do with the A? Flip it. Put him on bottom. And he becomes positive. Questions? Do we understand what just happened?
Yeah.
Do we need to do another one just to be safe?
Sure.
Okay. Stop, weirdos. Alright, let's see if you have sticky notes in your tower. Somewhere in your tower, look for sticky notes. Alright, each person needs a sticky note and put it below this. No. No. No.
Oh, you put a sticky note
If you have room underneath here, you don't have to use a sticky note. But I don't have any room, so I'm using a sticky note. Does everybody understand?
Wait, what are you? There's one more box.
I know. I know, man. Alright, so this is my next example. Now, I'm writing it down here because I don't have room underneath here in my section. Okay, so my next problem is going to be 3 e to the 4th f to the 6th divided by 6 e to the 8th f to the 9th. Are we ready? Okay. What does 3 divided by 6 reduce to, and don't you dare say 2? What does 3 6 reduce to? 1/2. Fantastic. Take a point if you said 1/2. You didn't. You didn't. You didn't.
Like, I was gonna say, but you.
Stop lying.
I'm for real.
Alright, now, what is 4 minus 8?
Negative.
Okay, so is that going to go on the top or on the bottom? And it's going to turn into a what? Positive. Okay. What is 6 minus 9?
Negative 3.
So is that going to go on the top or on the bottom? And what is it going to turn into? Look at us go. That's all you do. Alright. We're going to do one more under here entirely without me. Alright? You're doing this one entirely without me. And you may talk to your group. You just can't talk to me.
Is the bottom X for 10?
Yes. Are we ready? 30 more seconds. Hey, Jeremiah, there are scissors under your table. Will you grab them, please? Cameron, they're under your feet. And your feet should stay under your desk. That's not... All right, who thinks they can raise their hand and tell me the full answer?
My feet are under my
All right.
But probably messed up, so.
We need points.
Okay, Cynthia.
I got 1 for
Look at you. All right.
X, 2 fifth power.
Where?
On the bottom.
On the bottom? X to the 5th power. And then?
X to the 5th power.
What? What?
X to the 5th power.
Why?
Because it's like negative 6.
Baby, what variable is that?
I'm confused.
We did X, right?
Oh yeah, Y.
Y to the what?
5th power.
Is it on bottom? Are you sure? All right, take 2 points. Look at you go. All right, any questions on this one? Can we do that tonight? Yes.
I just have a question about
Not over. But the 1/4? Okay. So,
Raspberry,
yes.
do you have Adriana Manzano?
Yes.
Ask her to go to Miss Hayes' office, please.
Yes. Miss Hayes' office. Okay, so what number goes into both 4 and 16? 4. 4 divided by 4 is, yes, take your stuff, 1. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So that's why. Yes, ma'am. I'm not. I just explained that. So what number goes into both 4 and 16? Okay, let's say it with confidence and not a question. What number goes into both 4 and 16? There we go. 4 divided by 4 is? 16 divided by 4 is? Look at you go. Alright, now it says I can correct negative exponents. Can we do that? What do we do to correct negative exponents? Flip to make positive. Now, what if I said 1 divided by x to the negative 3rd power? Flip it where?
gonna be X cubed.
That's going to become x cubed, so you move it to the top.
Yep.
What if I said x to the 5th divided by x to the negative 3? We would subtract those, right? What's 5 minus a negative 3?
Negative
5 minus negative 3. 8. So this would become x to the 8th. It's 5 minus a negative 3. Take a point. Alright, our last one for the day, and then you get your homework. Get excited. You're only going to have 2 problems per thing. Did you say we always have homework? You didn't have homework Wednesday night. Oh, cry about it, children. Cry about it. Cry about it. Alright, power. 2a power. These are super easy. Power to a power. Alright, that looks like if I said g squared to the 5th power. That's raising a power to a power. Now, before we go any further, what is the difference between this problem and this problem? What are you going to do? You're going to multiply them, take a point. But what is the difference between this problem and this one? What if I did this? That has parentheses.
There's an exponent
Outside the parentheses. And what is this? That's by itself, right? How many G's do we have right here? How many G's do we have right here? That's the difference. So multiplying like bases is when you have 2 of the same base. Raising a power to a power is when you have an exponent outside the parentheses. Alright, and you would multiply those together. So what would that become? G to the 10th power. Awesome. So let's open. And I'm going to fold my sticky note up. And what did we just say that we do?
We multiply.
Multiply the exponents. Awesome. We're not done, so I don't know why you're packing up. If you don't get your stuff out, you're losing points for your team. We're still having class. Alright? What if I said e to the 4th cubed? What would that become? E to the 12th, because you multiply. Alright? I'm going to give you 1 homework problem on each section. Alright, so this one. Has everybody written down the bottom one?
No.
Please write down the bottom one so I can move up. Alright, there's your last one.
Which is 9.
A. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Make good choices. Be good people. Go Falcons.
Is that an 8?
Yes.